Hello and welcome. My name is Linda Barnum and today's session is a chair yoga session. Please come into the session, sit in a steady and upright chair. I'm going to begin with the disclaimer. Listen carefully. To reduce and avoid injury, you should check with your doctor before beginning any fitness program. By performing any fitness exercise, you are performing them at your own risk. The town of Aurora will not be responsible or liable for any injury or harm you sustain as a result of participating in our online fitness or information shared on our website or social media channels. This includes emails, videos, and texts. Thank you. We're going to begin our session today with a breath awareness. Before we do begin, just a couple of props that I'd like to point out to you, and please pause the video if you need to go and fetch these props. This is a yoga strap. You can use a yoga strap, or if you don't have one, a bathrobe tie, something that just helps you to support the legs when we come into the leg stretches. I like to hang mine onto the back of the chair, so I just have it handy. I have a small blanket rolled so that when we're sitting and resting into the breath, you can put this in the back, just along the spine, and it helps me to sit comfortably and upright. If you'd like to try that, take some time to find a small blanket or large towel and roll it. As we begin with the breath awareness, come into a seated position with your feet about hip width apart, palms down on the thighs, that's nicely grounded. Sitting tall, that's where the blanket helps. Get relaxed, shoulders relaxed down, and a little lift through the crown of your head, so you're lengthening your neck and sitting upright in a relaxed manner. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze. We take some time to tune into the breath. It's a helpful way to come into the body. It can also be a helpful way to relax the nervous system. But as you start to be aware of your breath, drop your attention down to your belly. If you like, you can place one hand or both hands onto the belly now. And with that awareness, hands on the belly, perhaps feeling the gentle movement of your breath. Breath in, breath out, as the belly rises and falls with the rhythm of your breath. This is a nice way to move away from the busyness of the mind and into the body. Allow your breath to be easy and natural. As you settle into the rhythm of your breath, invite your body to relax. Softening your face, relaxing around the eyes, the jaw, and facial muscles. Softening down through the shoulders, letting the shoulders shift a little away from the ears. Inviting your upper body to relax and perhaps also feeling the gentle shift of your breath in the chest, the upper back, the side ribs. This movement of your breath like an internal massage. Returning your attention to the belly, softening the belly, sides and low back. And feeling that gentle movement of your breath. Noticing that as you breathe in, there's an expansion and an openness through your body. And as you breathe out, a softening, releasing, and letting go. This is the nature of the exhalation. A release, a letting go. And for the next few breaths, as you come to each exhalation, bring that invitation into your whole body. Exhale, release, soften, and let go. Softening all the way down into the pelvis, thighs, legs, and feet. Now take in as much time as you like with this settling in. And when you feel ready to move, you start to move with some gentle shoulder rolls. Bring your hands back onto the front thighs and roll the shoulders back. This is the opposite way to where we might be when we slip into those sort of poor posture habits when we're rounded forward. So a nice opening through the chest as you roll the shoulders back. And stay attentive to your breath. Bringing your attention to breath movement, rhythm coming together, perhaps inhaling up, exhaling down. Last one here, relaxing the shoulders down, let the chin drop down towards the chest and just gently rolling your chin over to the one side. So we'll look over at this one armpit and then gently and slowly over to the other side. At the same time, let your jaw relax, especially if this is where you feel a lot of tension in the jaw, let the teeth separate, the lips part slightly, and just a slow roll of the chin, following the collarbone across the front, in a pain-free range of motion, always. One more either side. And let's come back center. Sometimes it just feels good to give that a little massage as well after the neck rolls and shoulder rolls. But just rubbing in to the neck and shoulders as it feels good to you. I'm going to bring the blanket out from behind and move a little further forward on your chair so you have a bit more room behind you to move your spine. Coming into cat stretch. It is a lovely way to free up the spine. Hands down once again on your front thighs and round in and scooping back. It's like you're creating a very shallow letter C with your spine. And then come through and lift as if you're lifting your breastbone up towards the ceiling and extend. Flexion and extension. Two movements of our spine. Now come into an easy rhythm. Again, you might just notice that you breathe in at a particular point in the movement and you breathe out at another point. Let your breath be natural and easy. Being mindful of the breath. Now, as we take it back this time, we'll bring it around and circle. So you're coming forward and through, over to the side, scooping back, and over to the other side. So we got this kind of stirring movement. You can imagine your spine like a spoon stirring into the pelvic bowl. Take that one way and the other way. Just move in at a pace and a rhythm that feels right to you. All of these movements should feel good, enjoyable. And then let's come back center. Now, a nice easy way to remember to move our spine every day is that the spine moves in 4 different directions. And the yoga gives us a very good opportunity to use the spine in all of those directions. So flexion, extension, and now let's come into a side stretch. So if you have legs close by your hand on your chair, you can just sort of slide this one hand down and side stretch over. Now, at the same time, you want to be sitting back and down into the opposite hip. So don't let yourself tilt there, but sit down here in this opposite hip as you slide over into the side stretch. Coming up and over. So we bring the spine into the lateral movement. Now this back arm can stay down by your side. If you want to add a little weight, once you're in your side stretch, you bring it up and over. And if we use this arm just sort of dangling over the head as an extra bit of weight, you'll feel that bit more intensity in the side stretch, still keeping this opposite hip down. So just feel that. Notice if it's helpful to you to keep the arm down by the side or slide it up and over for that extra side stretch. Let's try that one more time either side. And bring it back center. So our 4th movement of the spine is rotation. Let's come nice and tall before we move into the rotation. Lift up the arms, lengthen through the crown of the head, root down into the sits bones and the feet. So we feel nicely grounded as we lengthen up. Then as you lower the arms, you can turn from the waist, turn and look over to the one side, shoulders relaxed. Once you're there, if you like, turn your head a little more if you want a bit more stretch through the neck. Just do that slowly. As we come back center, come nice and tall again. And then arms down and rotate into the other side. Shoulders relaxed, turning the head a little more once you're in your rotation, if you like. Bring it up. Rotate again. Now this time I want you to just have a notice of what's in your vision there as you turn and rotate. We'll come back to this rotation at the end of the session and we'll just see if that's changed up a little. So just notice where you're turning, what's in your line of vision. Nice way to just see what happens as we're practicing our yoga. If anything loosens up a little. And then on this side too, looking over for that. What's in your line of vision here? And bring it back. Releasing the arms down once again, perhaps another shoulder roll. And we're going to come down to the legs. So this is where that strap is handy. We'll start off with a little movement into the hip. So I like to double up my strap here and just bring it underneath the back of the thigh so that then I can lift my leg a little, possibly, with the help of this kind of sling, and move around from the hip joint. Now you might want to hold on with your opposite hand onto the chair and make sure that this leg feels nicely grounded. Moving from the hip joint, right into the hip joint here, as it feels right. So again, a pace and a rhythm and doing what feels right in your body. Bring that leg down. Let's slip the strap through the other side. See how that feels. Making a little sling here, holding on, bringing the leg up and trying to get that movement from the hip joint. One way and then the other. Bring that down. Now we're going to stretch a little more through the back of the leg and kind of lasso your foot with the strap. This time we'll have it the full length and bring the strap around the ball of the foot. Your heel still on the ground. You move back a little so you might be able to see that a bit better. And lengthening this leg out. Now this foot again is still steady and grounded. We'll pull the strap up about to the ball of the foot here and draw the strap in a little. You're going to feel that through the back of the lower leg, most likely. Breathe. Now at the same time, try to sit tall. Sometimes when the legs are a little tight, we might have the tendency, let me show you from the side, what might happen here is to kind of roll back a bit. So you're going to access these muscles at the back of the leg a little more if you stay sitting tall. You can lift the leg into the strap a bit more if you like. That works for you. So get a bit more stretch there. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And of course, breathe. Release that leg and lasso the other foot. Slide the strap up a little just to bring that stretch, that emphasis down through to this lower leg. Make sure we're steady through the other side and lifting the leg where it feels good for you. Remember to sit up tall. Just keeping the legs flexible and strong as we work with our yoga today. And releasing down there. Now, I want to stretch the feet out a bit too. So let's come up onto the toes here. And if you can, then try to get that baby toe out and move in as well. And then we'll circle around. So I'm up on the ball of the foot, circling around from the ankle. One direction and then the other. And then I'm going to bring the foot back out again, this time without the strap, so that it can point and flex the foot. Let me show you again from the side so you can see a little better on the movement there. pointing and flexing the foot, and perhaps getting some circles in, and perhaps even hearing a few creaks and noises. And usually those are okay as long as they're pain-free. Let's try the other foot here. So we'll come up, try and get all the toes into that ankle turn and stretching the toes out a little one way and then the other. And then we can point and flex. Again, let me show you from the side. Oops. And circle. And bring it back. Now we're going to bring the legs a bit wider here. So heel toe your feet out to the point where you can sit with your legs wide, but your knees are still in line with your toes. So in other words, don't bring the feet out so far that the inner thigh can't stretch that far and the knees drop in. You can see that that's not the greatest alignment. So just come in where that works for you to get some stretch along the inner thighs, and we're sitting very nicely grounded, steady, and tall in a wide leg position, bringing the hips into another movement possibility for the hips. Let's come up tall here as well. We'll lengthen up. Now, I'm going to bring my hands into another position here that I'll show you a little closer as the hands are lower. I'm going to try to interlace the last three fingers, point the index fingers and cross the thumbs. When we bring the arms up this time, that's going to make that a little stronger, especially if you can keep the palms of the hands together. Bring it up and lift. So we're very nicely lifting the upper organs off the lower organs, creating this space down through the side. And it is a little stronger with the hands in this position. So make sure it all feels good for you. Now at the same time, I want you to root down into your feet. So you feel yourself steady, grounded through the sits bones and through the feet. Take a few breaths here. And release your arms down. Again, a little shoulder roll doesn't hurt. Let's bring the backs of their hands together now. We're going to get some stretch over the back of the wrist. So your hands may or may not touch here. Pain-free as always, where you can get that stretch over the back of your wrist. We're going to bring that up, lengthen up as you come up, and then extend out. So get a really nice long wingspan here while we've still got a nice wide space here. Relax the shoulders, the elbows a little soft, and bring that out to the side. I'm going to push out now, out to the sides of the room, as if you can bring your strength from the center of your body. So coming up, widening out, nice long wingspan, and then pushing out strong from the center of your body. Same time down into your feet, and relax the hands. And push out from the center of your body. Relaxing down, push. Just relax down one more time, and that strength from the center of the body, and then circling the wrists. So as I mentioned, we're going to work all of the joints in the body. It's nice and gentle movement, but get them all in there. And bring it in with a little shake out for the arms and the shoulders. Keeping those legs wide. If you find they've dropped in a little bit, let's take that focus. So knees out over those middle three toes. Coming up tall once again. This time we're going to rotate. We're going to turn from the waist, and we're going to turn and look at this bent knee. We got that rotation again, a little differently than we did when the legs were together. Relaxing the shoulders. At the same time that we're looking over at this bent knee over here, you're going to side stretch towards the other leg. So we're going to come up tall and side stretch towards this leg while you're looking at the other leg. And the arm, if you like, is that extra intensity for your side stretch. This opposite hip dropping down. So we're not falling or tumbling off the chair, we're nicely rooted and grounded. Bring it up slowly. We're still looking at that one knee. Let's come back center and rotate. So we're looking over at the other knee. Staying there. Then your rotation. Bring it into the side stretch. Going to side stretch towards the opposite leg. Let's get tall first. Lift up this arm. And then coming over. Arm is a bit of extra weight if you like, where that feels good. Breathe in, so and we're changing the shape of the body, we're making a lot of space to expand the breath down into this side lung space, side of the body. Lifting it up, still looking over at this bent knee and bringing it forward, and it might just feel good to kind of get a little of that circling cat in here, and one way and then the other. Come back up. Let's take the feet and heel toe them in. Now this seems like a very small movement, but actually really nice lower leg and ankle movement to do that. Coming back center. Going to return to our cat stretch and add in a little more extension for the spine into a back bend. This time we're going to flex and round back as we drop the arms down. As we come up, you need to lift the one arm and extend like you're lifting up towards the ceiling, changing a light bulb or something, or reaching for something a little higher in a cupboard. Round it back. Alternate. Let's bring that other arm up and reach. Now here, I'm going to show you from the side again so that you can see a little more what's happening with my spine when I do this. I want to suggest this. I'm kind of hanging off my chair a little bit here. So you stay on your chair forward. Just want you to be able to see a little more what's happening here. So when I'm coming up, I've got that extension, this rounded inward movement of the spine, nicely grounded through my feet. And then when I lower the arm, I'm going to flex the spine. I'm going to round it back. Let's do that a little more. Coming up. Extending. So we're not just moving through the arm, but also moving the spine. You think of your arm as following the movement of your spine. So really get this nice extension through the body. Let's do that one more time on the other side if you can. So remember, number of repetitions is really up to you, range of motion, pace. There. Bring it down. Now we're going to try that with both arms. So we're going to draw forward a little, round back with the arms down by the side. Then we're going to start this extension by dropping down a little more into the feet, coming up and extending up where it feels good. We're reaching for that high cupboard, maybe opening the arms a little wider, really opening through the chest, and then scooping it back to round back. Again, if we can, we'll do a few, but if it's enough for you after one or two, then please just pause. Stay attentive to your breath. If you pause anywhere, stay in your body. Just picking up the energy a bit, really opening that circulation going. Let's pause here if you can in this lift. And then release down that final time. Let's bring it back into the cat stretch that we started with. Perhaps a few circles again. And the other way. And back center. It's quite a lot of movement in the upper body. Let's take one hand over to the opposite shoulder and just kind of massage in here. And the nice thing about that, doing that for yourself, is that you can decide how much is the right amount of pressure. Just digging in a little on the one side at the same time, dropping your chin to your chest. That's good. And then checking it out on the other side. And coming up. And come into a little bit of balance. Don't get too worried. We're staying in the chair, and balance is just a shift, and noticing and being aware of this shift in where our weight is going. So it's a really nice thing to do in the chair as well as in standing. Then after, we'll follow with coming back to that rotation so we can check things out a little bit, what the response was in your body to the movements, and then we'll finish with a final few minutes of bringing the awareness back to the breath. Balance. Feel your weight into both feet, coming down into your feet evenly. Take your attention down. Lift into one foot, up onto the ball of the foot. Feel the shift in your weight. Lower that foot down, go to the other side. Point in the center there where both feet are nicely grounded. Shifting the weight to the other side. We can stay here, or we can bring the leg up a little higher. So we're going to bring up the leg, if possible, a little higher. At the same time as we're coming up here, we want this foot nicely grounded. Both feet come back to the ground, even weight for a moment there in the center, and then shifting into the standing leg, lifting the other leg. Just being aware of that shift in your weight. One side to the other, back to both, even weight in the center there. And then we're going to add in an upper body movement at the same time. As we bring the one leg up, we're going to lift the opposite hand. Bring it back down. Let's try it one more time on this side. And release down. Let's take the legs in and out a little, shake them out. And come back center. Let's bring it back to our rotation. Lengthening up. Turn in and rotate in to the one side. As you turn, just notice if you're seeing a little bit differently with your line of vision. Perhaps you come more smoothly into a bigger range of motion. Up to the center and try that on the other side. And don't worry if it hasn't changed. It's just a nice way to check things out. Notice if we've made a little bit more freedom there through the body with our yoga practice today. I'm going to come back to sit in with the breath. If you'd like to return your rolled blanket into the small of your back or along your spine, just get comfortable there so that you can sit comfortably and relaxed in good posture. Once you're adjusted, you can close your eyes or lower your gaze. And return to a more singular focus to your breath. Dropping your attention down to the belly. Relaxing into the rhythm of your breath as you feel the gentle movement of your belly. Breathing in, breathing out. Belly expanding and softening back. Continue the process of inviting your body to relax, release, and ground. Now slowly lifting your gaze, opening your eyes. Take a moment to gently stretch. And when you feel ready, moving mindfully into your next activity. And thank you so much for joining us today.